There is this hidden pattern that most people just completely miss. It's what separates a harmless loner from someone who is, frankly, quietly dangerous. Someone who silently studies you, predicts you, and, in the end, uses you. And today, we're gonna put that exact pattern under the microscope. So you might think the biggest threats are the obvious ones, right? The loud, dramatic people. But it's not them. The most dangerous person you'll ever meet? Yeah, exactly. The one who just kind of operates in the background. They're quiet, they're observant, and they seem totally safe. And that's the scary part, because by the time you figure out who they really are, it's almost always too late. I mean, they look calm, right? Reserved, totally unassuming. But behind that quiet exterior, trust me, they are watching. So the real question isn't that they're watching, we know that. It's what are they looking for? And what are they planning to do with what they find? Okay, so this brings us to our first big point. You have to understand that silence is not what you think it is. Your brain is just wired to see silence as safe. It feels like, okay, no drama, no conflict, we're good. But that's actually a really dangerous assumption. See, for a manipulator, silence isn't about peace. It's a screen. It's what lets them watch you without you ever really seeing them. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the core difference here is all about control. A loud person, they kind of put all their cards right on the table, but a quiet manipulator, well, they curate their entire identity. They're not showing you who they really are. They're showing you a character they've built specifically for you to trust. I want you to think about your conversations with a person like this. You're talking, you're laughing, you're sharing your stories, your vulnerabilities, and you feel so comfortable, right? Because they just seem so easy to talk to. But have you ever stopped to ask why? It's because they're not talking. While you're sharing, they're collecting. They're gathering data, mapping out your insecurities, and finding every single one of your pressure points. Okay. So let's look at how all this observation turns into a deliberate strategy. Because once they have all that data on you, they start to use a very specific playbook to get control. And we're gonna break down two of their most powerful methods right now. And I want you to remember, these are not random actions. These are calculated tactics, and they're designed to undermine you from the inside out. So first up, rewriting your reality. You've probably heard of this. It's called gaslighting. And look, the goal here isn't to win an argument. The real goal is to completely dismantle your confidence in your own mind so that their version of events becomes the only reality you actually trust. And when you hear something like this, said with such calm, unwavering confidence, your brain just kind of freezes, doesn't it? 1 second you're totally sure, but now you doubt yourself. You end up apologizing, not because you were wrong, but because you're just not sure what's right anymore. That feeling is the feeling of being controlled. All right, next up, they weaponize your emotions. And trust me, guilt is their sharpest tool. Notice the pattern in these phrases. They never actually demand anything, do they? No, they just make you feel like you're being selfish or cruel or thoughtless. You're completely emotionally cornered, and you end up doing what they want, not because you chose to, but just to escape that awful feeling of guilt they literally manufactured for you. Okay, so this next technique is one of the sneakiest and one of the most effective. Why? Because it masquerades as intense love or connection. It's called intermittent reinforcement, basically a pattern of unpredictable rewards. And oh boy, does it create a powerful psychological addiction. So for a while, they are just perfect. They give you this incredible attention, this affection, this understanding that feels absolutely euphoric. You feel seen, you feel connected, you feel completely safe. It's intoxicating. And then bam, without any warning, they just pull away. They become cold, distant, impossible to reach. And there's no explanation, just this jarring silence that sends your mind racing, right? You're desperately trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? Just so you can get that warmth back. And here's the crucial part. When they finally do come back, when they return your call or give you that warmth again, you get this overwhelming flood of relief. And that relief, that's the drug. You get hooked, not on them, but on the cycle of anxiety and relief that they are in complete control of. So the big question is, how do you cut through all this fog and just see the truth? Well, there is one simple test, a test that can expose a manipulator almost instantly, and it's a moment of truth that most people miss completely.
Okay, here are the steps, and they are super simple. All you have to do is intentionally and quietly create a little bit of distance. Don't announce it, don't make a big drama out of it. Just become a little less available, be a little slower to respond, and then you just watch their reaction.
And this is what reveals everything. A healthy, genuine person, they'll respect your space. Honestly, they might not even notice. But a manipulator, oh, they cannot handle a loss of access. To them, it's a loss of control. So they will react, and they will react fast. Suddenly, there's an emergency or a crisis or some dramatic declaration of how much they need you. They create this false urgency to pull you right back into their orbit. All right, this brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the whole puzzle. It's the reason this behavior is so incredibly hard to spot, and so devastating when you finally do. See, this is the secret to how they succeed. They don't just walk in on day one and start making demands or rewriting your reality. I mean, that would never work. They begin with something way, way more powerful. They start with trust. They build this deep, solid foundation of it. They make you feel safe and understood and cared for. And the manipulation works so well precisely because it's coming from the one person you believe would never, ever hurt you. The trust you freely give them, that becomes the very tool they use against you. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about in your own relationships. When you're with someone, is the connection a real two-way street? Do they actually genuinely open up and reveal their own vulnerabilities to you? Or are they just really, really good at getting you to reveal yours? Because the difference between those two things, well, it's everything.